So some of the arguments that have been presented, oil bonds argument, the current government constantly says that they're still paying dues for the oil bonds that were issued by the UPA government. The fact of the matter also is that just 2% of the total excise revenue from petrol and diesel can be used to pay for the oil bonds. It's not as big a burden as it is being made out. Of course, it is a burden and it's a legacy of the UPA. But can that be constantly used for all this time to justify the high taxes? No, it cannot be used. Now, let me go across to our other panelists on this conversation, and I'm going to ask Mr. Ved Jain. Mr. Ved Jain, the argument being presented also is that you need this extra money to use it elsewhere. What is your response to this argument that we wanted to give free vaccines, which is why we tax you more for fuel?
See, let me answer this question. If my two friends from the both political party can bear with me. In 2010 and 2014, we decided that petrol and diesel prices will be run by the open market positions. It's a free market position and it will not be a controlled price. And it continued until I think 2019, when the prices in 2020 started falling. The government thought that the prices have gone down too low and let us make some money out of it and taxes out of it. So prices have gone down on that part. If the question is that in case the government had decided to levy taxes because the prices have gone down, then we have taken a U-turn on the policy that it is a free market driven. It's a market driven. It was not a market. So the benefit which was supposed to be passed on to the consumer because of the low prices internationally was not passed on. Now, in case the government of the day was of the view that the money is required for this pandemic, collection need to be up because collection on other direct and indirect taxes were going down. The government of that day was well within its right to say so. But now, since the prices in the international market have gone up, corresponding decrease is required to make sure that we come back again to this policy. Because what is happening is, in a way, we are saying that we are giving some concession to the common man by way of saying free vaccine or other vaccine, etc. But at the same time, we cannot ignore the fact that the common man is also bearing the burden of these higher taxes on the petrol and diesel. The prices have gone down or gone up. The problem is that agriculture produce has to be carried through some truck and trolley. And that petrol and diesel that goes out, the freight is the major part. So is the common man using all these issues. So all prices going up, you are giving from one pocket and taking it away from the another pocket. So that equation need to be taken care of somewhere. As regard the issue between the center and states, I believe that center has a fixed percentage of the excise duty, fixed amount of the excise duty. And states by and large are following a percentage of tax on the petrol price plus excise duty. In case the excise duty goes down, I believe the percentage of tax automatically of the state goes down. As I can see now, the petrol prices have been reduced by 10 rupees. The state is levying taxes at 25%. So 2 rupees 50 paisa automatically goes out of the state pocket. So somewhere I believe I am of the opinion that the government should take a policy decision where they can say, all right, price of the petrol and diesel we believe should be 80 rupees or 90 rupees. If it goes down, we will increase the excise duty or the taxes to be shared equally or whatever the ratio they may have between center and state. But if it goes up beyond that, then the taxes will be reduced. So the common man do not suffer and the common man has not to pay more. So
Right.
80 rupees or 90 rupees, whatever consensus, you can work it out and be honest to the people of the country on that part. That's my suggestion.
Mr. Jain, you've made two very valid points. And of course, you know, this suggestion is something that the government perhaps should look at in times like this. But also more importantly, what you said about giving relief at this point.
Maharashtra, I am giving an example. 15,000 crore rupees is due with Government of India. That is the GST due, which Government of India is not releasing. So you had spoiled the relationship. The confidence level which was required for the state for taking the GST to the next level, you had spoiled that confidence level. First of all, restore that confidence level by releasing the earlier dues. Tamil Nadu also have a big due. The Rajasthan government also has a big
same thing
due.
about West
Not
Bengal.
only
West
Congress,
Bengal.
not only Congress,
Yes.
even West Bengal, even Gujarat also.
Yeah, the big contributors, the big contributors to the tax central tax.
Act of God.
To the big contributors to the central taxation who are not getting their percentage of it, and those dues keep on building up, have had this complaint for a while, which also becomes a big hurdle then for these states to agree to bring GST under, to bring fuel under GST. Mr. Jain, you wanted to make a point. Yes.
See, Ms. Tanvi, my friends are taking a political stand.
Yes.
But we must appreciate a ground reality of the economy of India.
Correct.
Now, the center and state, both budget have become highly dependent on the taxes which are being collected on petrol and diesel. Now, the center and state both have to meet the target of the expenditure they have to incur. And to say now that the taxes on petrol and diesel which are being collected will be drastically reduced so that overall collection goes down, it is impossible for center and state both to agree to that point. Now, when you talk about GST levy, as we all agree that the total cost of the petrol production is 44 rupees per liter and 3-4 rupees is the commission of the dealer. On 48 rupees and the price is 100 rupees, then almost more than 100% GST rate will be there, which cannot be applied because 28% is the highest GST rate. And even if we impose a cess of maybe 50%, then it still be less than the collection. Now, in this scenario, to have a consensus on that issue will be very, very difficult. But there can be a via media which can be worked out and which should be a good economic policy both for center and states. What they can work it out, as I suggested earlier, they fix a price that the petrol and diesel prices will be kept at 80 to 90 rupees and whatever it is.
Right.
So whatever is the production cost and the dealer commission, the difference will be shared between the center and the states. Now, looking to the political landscape today, it may be difficult for the various states and the center to come to a consensus the way I have come to a consensus in GST. I have another option to the center for that purpose. The center can say, let's work it out that we want that the price of the petrol and diesel should be 85 rupees or 90 rupees. 48 rupees is the cost. Our excise duty presently will be 16 rupees or 18 rupees. And the state will be levying 25 to 30% of the taxes or thereon. The rate will be 85 rupees. In case the cost goes down from 45 rupees to 40 rupees, our excise duty will go up by 75% above on that.
Mr. Jain, you know,
so
all the permutation combinations that you're suggesting perhaps would be viable only in an ideal world where the states and the center have that kind of trust on each other to agree on this and have a conversation. We're looking at a scenario where the states feel cheated because while the center reduces the excise, it brings in a cess, so the center's coffers don't get impacted, but the states do. Unfortunately, that's what is happening, but maybe another day we will have a detailed conversation on what are the other solutions. For now, I'm completely out of time. So thank you to all of the panelists, Mr. Jain for bringing his expertise and the political representatives to tell us what is the next course. And clearly now today we've heard it from Gaurav Vallabh that Rajasthan may also and Chhattisgarh may also look at cutting their taxes on fuel. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said it at the Times Now summit that they too are working on a plan to cut taxes. For some of the states who've not got the full benefit, like the BJP-governed states, perhaps more relief is on its way. In fact, let's also play you out an excerpt of the conversation